2025 is here. Oh God, 2025 is here. And we have the first movie of the year, The Damned. Are you damned that it's 2025? Let's find out. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing The Damned. So what's about? Pretty simple premise. We're the 19th century, and there's a widow who is a fisherman, if you want to put it that way, or the husband owned the fishing camp, and now she comes back, and the crew's kind of shocked she came back, but when they're about to go fishing, there's a boat out in the distance sinking. They're like, oh God, what do we do? Do we save it? Do we not? But a couple days go by, maybe a day. A barrel comes in and they're like, oh, this barrel actually has some pretty damn good food in it. Let's go out there. But the crew members of that sunken ship are alive and they try to get on their small boat. Bam! A couple of them die. More than a couple, like 6 or 8. But are they damned for letting them die and not try to save them the first or second time? Let's find out. So, did I like this film? Atmospherically, yes. Ending, no. So, this is a quick hour and 28-minute horror movie, and that's all it needed to be. Atmospherically, it was top freaking notch. It felt like they were in the cold. I'm 99% sure they were in the cold, and the audience members felt it. Maybe because it's also cold outside, but I don't know. Something that when you watch a film, and it's snowing, and there's wind, you hear the wind and the surround sound, and you're just like, damn, they're cold. I should be cold, so I'm in the seat going like this because it is so damn cold. Not because it's just the chilly environment, no, because it's damn cold. And the whole environment, you're like, yep, they cold. You're feeling it, and you truly feel like, you know what, that they're in this suck, and they're in this suck together. The story, it's interesting, but it is something you have seen before where a spirit or entity is after the people that should have helped them and they haven't moved on. And there are interesting folklore with, nailing people's feet, tying ropes to them so they can't move, spin the coffin 3 times so they're dizzy in the afterlife and they don't know who they're going to attack. So there's interesting stuff like that they bring up. And I think that those parts of the movies were interesting. The jump scares / actual scares were pretty efficient. Nothing what felt cheap in this movie. And I think that's really good as well when it came to the horror and look at the movie. Did not feel cheap. Acting overall, pretty good. They all look miserable. They all look like they were in the shit together, and they were all in shitty conditions, and they look like that with all the makeup as well. The lighting, This is where it starts going a little bit downhill for me because when I'm watching a movie like this, I kind of want to see what's going on. And there were some scenes, like when they're on the boat or when they're in these cabins, you kind of see a white guy with a beard, a white guy with a beard, a white guy with a beard, and you're like, is that David? Is that Joe? Is that Bob? Is that Billy? Is that Mitchell? You just don't know. And at a point, you're just like, I kind of want to see what's going on. But I understand why they did it because they want to kind of go the quote-unquote natural lighting. And the natural lighting are just going to be little lanterns like this. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Yes, when it's bright out, it's great landscape and you can tell what is going on. So, when I said the ending, this is something where the audience members, I think there's about 5 of them, 2, I think friends, an older dude, and myself. That makes it goes 4, you stupid idiot. Anyway, they go, bruh, what? Or nah, bruh, or something like that. They're just thinking that's the ending we get. And unfortunately, I saw that ending coming from a mile away. If you see a lot of movies like I do in these type of films, these whole mental mind games where you're you don't know what's real, what's fake. Is this person really that person? Is that person, possessed or not? When you have those type of movies and you have an ending like this, you know exactly what's going to occur. You know it's going to be an ambiguous ending. You know for a fact it's not what one of the main characters think is going to occur and things like that. But what actually does occur and the reasoning or what actually happened, it's really hard to believe with, the reason where this random guy brings a watch and asks for a boat. It just didn't feel right because at a point it's no, that just doesn't make sense with the location they're at and what is actually occurring with all these other characters involved, because there is, quote unquote, you want to call it backstabbing, or just you have to kill a person or entity because that person or entity is possessed and they're going to kill someone that's quote unquote normal. So you get that throughout the story, but the ending, it's at a point where I understand they're trying to go for the shock and awe ending, but as a person who's watched so many movies, there really wasn't a lot of shock and awe for that experience. And even though it's atmospherically like a fantastic movie, the overall story and writing itself really let me down, with me thinking it was going to be a little bit more scary, a little bit more oh shit moments. But it was a subtle, nice little film that most people should enjoy, except for the last 5 minutes. So overall, the Dan, atmospherically, yes. The ending, not so much for this guy. So The Damned will receive a 3 out of 5 of Futons, which equals that 60%. We'll see the critics and user scores gave this one. So critics at 86% with 35 of them. Fewer than 50, no critic score or audience score yet. Critic consensus. Oh, there is none. There's just some audience and audience reviews. I don't know. Like I said, atmospherically fantastic. Ending, no. 60-86. Chase out here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Bluetontopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'm going to watch this tape tomorrow, a week from a month, and a year from every single freak one of you. Peace and love, peace and love. And I'll be damned that it's 2025.